this is what I'm doing for him. I'm putting it here because he's going to have to hand it to
Okay.
her.
Okay. Perfect.
Think that's okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
there anything we could prop it up a bit more like that? That'll do it. On my phone, I just turned it might buzz. There we go. That works.
Us to find something.
If you can find something about that same size.
Rick wants the book to sit up this high. So he's left his food.
Well, I mean, I can do that. How much time do I have? I can do that regardless I take. You know? Yes, I'll go get it.
Quick, run. But we can remove it, right?
Well, you mean, will it come off the lectern?
Yeah.
Sure. You need to put my phone. My phone's a little bigger than his, but right? My phone's a little bigger. Think it's too high?
No, I think that's perfect.
down today.
It's not Jesus.
What?
Oh wait, no, this needs to be in a special place.
Good afternoon, honored guests. On this very special occasion, it is fitting to first acknowledge that the land on which Indiana University sits was once inhabited and cared for by the Miami, Potawatomi, Delaware, and Shawnee peoples. We recognize their displacement and remember the lasting legacies of their communities. My name is Jason McGraw. I'm a professor in the Department of History here at Indiana University Bloomington. I'm also president of the Gamma of Indiana chapter of Phi Beta Kappa. Today, on behalf of the faculty members of the Gamma chapter, we welcome our newly elected members. They will be formally inducted this afternoon. And we celebrate today's inductees. As we celebrate today's inductees, please feel free to indulge in the afternoon tea treats on your table. And I was asked that you are supposed to share the desserts, so no hogging. Sharing is caring. Phi Beta Kappa is the oldest and most distinguished academic honor society in America. Today's ceremony marks a memorable occasion for our new members and for their family and friends who are joining us via YouTube. To set the scene, we have asked Professor of English Nikki Skillman to begin this event by telling us about Phi Beta Kappa, its history, and the symbolic significance of the Phi Beta Kappa key.
All right, thank you, Professor McGraw, and hello, everyone. I'm here to tell you about the history of Phi Beta Kappa, the oldest academic honor society in America. The first chapter was founded in 1776 at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia. The students who founded it met at a local tavern, the Raleigh Tavern, to create a serious-minded student society that would offer more than social opportunities. Over the next half-century, Phi Beta Kappa chapters were established at other colleges and universities, including Yale and Harvard. While the original organization had been a secret society, most new chapters followed Harvard's example and repealed the injunction of secrecy. In 1883, the various chapters joined to form a national association known as the United Chapters of Phi Beta Kappa. Over the years, Phi Beta Kappa has been home to a broad range of notable individuals who have distinguished themselves in many fields. You'll see just a few of them pictured here. PBK inductees include George Washington Henderson, a former slave who was the first African American inducted into Phi Beta Kappa in 1877, author Mark Twain, author and activist Helen Keller, writer Paul Robeson, sociologist and founder of the NAACP, W.E.B. Du Bois, physician and virologist Jonas Salk, environmentalist Rachel Carson, chemist Roger Chen, novelist Viet Thanh Nguyen, American diplomat and political scientist Condoleezza Rice, former United States Representative Elijah Cummings, and 6 of the 9 current Supreme Court justices, including Justice Sonia Sotomayor and Chief Justice John Roberts, and many more, including, more recently, poet Amanda Gorman. As for the Indiana University chapter, it was formally established in 1911 on January 20th. That was the perfect day to do so, since it's the university's birthday, known as Founders Day. Our chapter is known as Gamma of Indiana, after the 3rd letter of the Greek alphabet, because it was the 3rd chapter established in the state after chapters at DePauw, Alpha, and Wabash, Beta. You might have noticed that as a Phi Beta Kappa member, you are authorized to obtain a key. Now let me explain the significance of the various inscriptions on that key, whose design is drawn from the metal of the original chapter at William and Mary College. The core principles of a liberal education are symbolized in the Greek letters Phi, Beta, and Kappa. Those are the initials of the motto Philosophia Biou Kubernetes, which can be translated as the love of wisdom is the guide of life. In the upper left corner of the key, 3 stars symbolize the main aims of the society: friendship, morality, and literature. A pointing hand in the lower corner symbolizes aspiration to those aims. On the reverse side, you'll see the letters SP, which represent the Latin phrase Societas Philosophiae, meaning philosophical society. You'll also find the date of Phi Beta Kappa's founding, along with the member's name, the electing institution, and the year of induction. One of the best summaries of the principles of Phi Beta Kappa comes from John Hope Franklin, a distinguished historian who was awarded in 1995 the Presidential Medal of Freedom, not only for his lifelong work as a student of history, but for his determination to bring about a better understanding of race relations in modern times. He said the following: "The love of learning is one of the most powerful values we can teach the generations to come. It has been a backbone of American pride and achievement and essential to freedom of thought and individual liberty. It is the envy of other societies that seek the kind of freedom of inquiry we have. Lose that and we lose something very principled and very American." Well said, indeed. Now that you know something about the history of this distinguished scholarly society, I would like to recall Professor McGraw to the podium.
Thank you, Nikki, for that introduction to the rich history of Phi Beta Kappa. This afternoon tea and induction ceremony is hosted by the College of Arts and Sciences, and I'll call our host, College Executive Dean Rick Van Kooten, to the podium. On behalf of the Gamma of Indiana chapter, I want to take this opportunity to thank Dean Van Kooten for his generosity in continuing the college's tradition of financial and administrative support of the chapter as we honor academic excellence through election to Phi Beta Kappa.
Hello, everybody. As you can tell, my voice is a little bit hoarse. This is the residual of a cold that I caught from my grandson during Thanksgiving, so I'm croaking my way through this. I do hope you enjoy. This is actually a new format that we're trying out this afternoon tea. We asked them to cut the crusts off, but they didn't, so enjoy the crusts. But I do want to welcome everybody again. And as Executive Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, it is my pleasure to welcome our newest Phi Beta Kappa electees here in the room and their guests and the family of friends who have joined us online. It was a live stream at the camera through the back here. We are very fortunate to have many of our deans with us as well. I asked them to stand as I introduce them. Please hold your applause until they're all standing. So we are joined by, and they may not be here, there's enough of you that I couldn't sort of catch everybody. John Jachari, Dean of the Hampton Luger School of Global International Studies. Peg Feynman, I know, is here. Dean of the Eskenazi School of Art, Architecture and Design. David Tolchinsky, the Dean of the Media School. Okay, now we move on to our Associate Deans from the Dean's Office. John Hansen, Executive Associate Dean. Elizabeth Cullen Dunn, Associate Dean for Graduate Education. She's sick. You might have caught this. Yeah. Vivian Halloran, Associate Dean for Arts and Humanities, as well as Associate Dean for Diversity and Inclusion. Rich Hardy, Associate Dean for Undergrad Education. Caroline Chick-Gerald, Associate Dean for Natural Mathematical Sciences, Associate Dean for Research, and proud mother of an inductee to Phi Beta Kappa, her daughter Gwendolyn. Rebecca Lave, Associate Dean for Social and Historical Sciences, who I don't think is here. And Martha Oakley, Special Advisor for Learning and Teaching. So please, applause. Now please join me in welcoming the Executive Committee of our Gamma of Phi Indiana chapter. I ask them as well to stand as I introduce them. Please, again, hold your applause until all are standing. So starting off, Terry Greenslade, our Secretary Treasurer, Assistant Dean for Undergrad Education. And now the members of our Executive Committee. Sarah Barley Dansman, Associate Professor in the Department of International Studies in the Hampton Luger School. Deborah Cohn, Provost Professor in the Department of Spanish and Portuguese. Greg Demas, Professor in the Department of Biology. Sarah Osterhout, Professor in the Department of Anthropology. John Salser, Provost Professor in the Department of Astronomy. Nikki Skillman, who you've heard from, Associate Professor in the Department of English. So also welcome them today. Also, please welcome our faculty members and academic advisors, some of who are elected to Phi Beta Kappa themselves at colleges and universities throughout the United States. They're here today because they have served as mentors to the students here to being inducted into Phi Beta Kappa, and they understand the significance of this achievement. Faculty and academic advisors, please stand so we may acknowledge you. Thank you. Please be seated. Actually, I'm very tremendously proud that I have an honorary Phi Beta Kappa. I'm originally Canadian, and they don't have Phi Beta Kappa up in Canada. And actually, it was really nice that my daughter, who was Phi Beta Kappa about 7 or 8 years later, actually inducted me at Phi Beta Kappa. So I have the little pin. Actually, when you point to it, it's kind of meta because there's a finger while you're pointing to it. I think about weird things. So again, I'm enormously pleased to be here to congratulate today's inductees on your election to the Gamma of Indiana chapter of Phi Beta Kappa. On behalf of the entire College of Arts and Sciences, let me tell you just how proud we are of you. This event was one of the highlights of the year when we gathered to celebrate the cohort of outstanding students and to recognize you for your accomplishments of your undergrad years. You're at the very heart and the future of the College of Arts and Sciences at Indiana University. You've been elected to an organization that existed since 1776. So Nikki said that, but 1776, that's when the Declaration of Independence was signed. That's how old it is. And you got a picture in a pub, too, back in 1776, when they were dreaming this up. Phi Beta Kappa supports and amplifies the lives of students of high achievement and promise in the liberal arts and sciences. Only 10% of U.S. colleges and universities have Phi Beta Kappa, and of those chapters, they select only about 10% of their arts and sciences graduates to join. So you represent about 1% of the graduating population in the U.S. And as Professor Skillman emphasized, you're in excellent company because of that. In just a moment, we'll hear the Phi Beta Kappa keynote address. Good, he's here. Followed by the informal induction of new members. After the induction ceremony, I encourage you to have your picture taken in front of the banner representing your major. And you see the banners that are lined up around the side of the room just represent all the departments, programs, and majors that we have in the college. And it really, really gives you striking, the range of intellectual diversity that we have in the college, everything from biotechnology, folklore, ethnomusicology, neuroscience, everything that we have in the college. And you come from many different disciplines and divisions, as you can see for the banners, the arts, humanities, social, historical, and natural sciences, excelling in courses across the entire IU curriculum. You're well prepared to go on from here to graduate, to professional school, or to directly enter the workplace, where you'll find solutions to current and future challenges facing the world today. And as students of liberal arts and sciences, you've cultivated a strong interdisciplinary core. You have strengths of habit and mind that will enable you to work collaboratively with people from a wide variety of backgrounds. You have skills as critical thinkers, vital communicators, and subject matter experts. And that is so, so important today, where subject matter sort of experts are being denigrated. This is the core of the people that have to bring the subject matter to society. You've also developed the practical skills that you'll further refine as you navigate the challenges of a swiftly morphing world and workplace. You'll pursue your goals in a future adapting to multiple opportunities, challenges, and careers. You'll be fortified by a mindset focused on growth and continuous learning. We are so proud to know you and to have been involved in your education. We wish you every success and look forward to, with keen expectation, to learning about your future assignments. Achievements. Yeah, you're still getting assignments now, achievements in the future. And now I would like to introduce our speaker, Justin Garcia, whose multifaceted career underscores the values and the value of Phi Beta Kappa. I've known Justin Garcia since before I became dean. I was vice provost for research, and the Kinsey Institute was under our purview. So I worked a lot with people in the Kinsey and it was just a glorious time, spending a lot of time with the Kinsey and the people working there. So delighted to have Justin here today. Justin is the executive director of the Kinsey Institute and the Ruth N. Halls Professor of Gender Studies at Indiana University Bloomington, where he's also founding co-director of the Human Sexuality and Health Concentration with the IU School of Medicine. Dr. Garcia holds an MS in biomedical anthropology and PhD in evolutionary biology from Binghamton University University. His research focuses on people's romantic and sexual lives throughout the life course, especially on integrative biopsychosocial models of variation in courtship, intimacy, and sexual behavior. He has co-authored over 100 academic articles and book chapters and is co-author of Evolution in Human Sexual Behavior, published by Harvard University Press, and co-editor of Evolution's Empress, Darwinian Perspective on the Nature of Woman by Oxford University Press. An award-winning researcher and educator, Dr. Garcia has lent his expertise to a variety of industry partners, serving as scientific consultant to KY Brand, Teva Pharmaceuticals, and others as an expert witness for the U.S. Department of Defense. Since 2010, he has been scientific advisor to the world's largest relationship company, Match.com, which I'm sure everybody's heard of, and his next book is titled The Intimate Animal. The title of his talk today is Applying the Science of Love, so please join me in welcoming Professor Justin Garcia.
Hi, everyone. Well, hi, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. As you might know, we had a little scheduling snafu. I put this event on my calendar when I was in China last month and realized I should have been here in the middle of tomorrow morning. So when I got a call before, I said, where are you? So I apologize, I'm a little unexpectedly dressed down. But I am delighted to, I probably should talk about making lemons out of lemonade, but I have some other prepared remarks. But I'm delighted to be here today, most importantly, to celebrate success, to celebrate asking bold questions, to celebrate the beauty of an arts and science education, the things that we want to do at a university. This is just really delightful for me, especially because of my own background. My training started in psychology, and then I got lost and I hung out with anthropologists. I did my master's there. Then I went over to biology for my PhD. Then I swung back to a clinical setting for my postdoc training. And I sometimes think about, well, what characterizes my career? Chaos. But perhaps it was that an overriding question of curiosity. And that's what I want to talk about today, the power of curiosity, how we harness that, why it's so exciting, I think, for me, and why it should be so exciting for you. And I think why it really epitomizes why so many of you are here. So I'm going to start with a story about the Kinsey Institute. Dean Van Kooten talked about as we've had an opportunity to, I thought as you were going through that, I thought he's had so many opportunities to fire me and in different roles. But at the Kinsey Institute, where I'm fortunate to be the director, I want to share a little bit about that history for those of you that don't know it, and why I think that also is a tale of curiosity and how that can impact bold, exciting science, but also impact so many people's lives. So some of you know the Kinsey Institute as the Institute for Sex Research at IU. But its story is one that's, I think, really interesting. So Dr. Kinsey first came to IU as a zoology professor in 1920. And he had a wonderful career studying gall wasps. But in 1938, he was asked to team teach IU's marriage class. And they thought, well, get the biologist to do the nuts and bolts part of this marriage and sexual hygiene class, because that'll be safe. What a mistake someone made. And so they thought, okay, let's think about this life course of a marriage, of sexual hygiene, and what goes into those. But what happened was, I think, a tale of curiosity. And it was a tale of what is the absolute best of university life. What is the absolute best of what we all do? Dr. Kinsey and his colleagues were teaching this class, and students, all of you, had so many questions that he couldn't answer. They couldn't find the answers in textbooks or in literature. They weren't there. So Kinsey and colleagues said, it is our job, it is what a university does. When we have students that ask us bold questions, we find answers. That is our ultimate responsibility at a university. You ask bold questions, we ask them with you, and together we find answers. I think it's so exciting to think that this story of a research institute began with students stumping their professors. So Kinsey did something a little unusual. He started interviewing people in Bloomington about their intimate lives, about their sexual lives. He eventually crisscrossed the country. The team collected 18,000 interviews, over 8,000 of them Dr. Kinsey did himself. And it became, to this day, the largest study ever done on people's romantic and sexual lives. And for me, I think that was this idea that the students were so curious that they would ask the questions. They didn't hold back. They didn't just sit in a class and not say anything. They asked. They asked what they wanted to know. They couldn't find the answers. Their faculty couldn't find the answers. And the faculty said, we're not going to just sit back and not be able to answer your curiosity. We need to be curious with you. And they went and started to do their own studies to try and answer those questions. So curiosity on all these levels to continue to ask. And in fact, those studies taught us so much about human experience, about things that unify us. Sometimes people will ask about our work and they'll say, well, is it a little controversial? And I often laugh and I go, I don't think it's really controversial. It's the great human unifier. These questions about sexuality or our bodies or our genders or our relationships, they're factors, including the challenges with them, are factors that unite people of every corner of this globe. It's the great connector in many ways. So I think about that curiosity, that willingness to be vulnerable and ask a bold question, and the challenge that it takes to continue to ask those questions. And I find it inspiring. I find it inspiring in all of you, our awardees today. But I also want to think a little bit about how that question of being curious has continued to stay with me. I don't want to say haunt me, but has continued to stay with me in our own work. So as Dr. Van Kooten mentioned, a lot of my own studies have been on people's romantic and sexual lives, including dating and relationships. And one of the things I find so interesting is when we carry that power of curiosity with us, and this is what I hope all of you will continue to do as we celebrate the curiosity you've had, the curiosity to come. When we carry that with us, we might think about how curiosity can shape great scientific discovery, how it can force us to put words to paper in ways we haven't before, to create art and literature and music in ways that we haven't before. But I also want to think about it in your intimate lives. I can't help myself. I do study love for a living. And one of the things I've been so interested in is the role of curiosity in people's romantic relationships, their dating lives, and their marriages. And it turns out that when we do our studies and we look at what are the things that are most important, you might ask yourselves, well, when we did some studies looking at couples that were together long-term and maintained passion. So people who were together more than 30 years and still characterize their marriages as passionate. Say, what's the secret sauce? What do these people do that's so interesting? Or people that just started dating and felt a spark right away. You go, what worked for them? What are these secret sauces? There's a common thread there. And that thread is curiosity. That being interested in who you are and what you want and acknowledging what is it that really gets me excited? What are the questions that I want to know? What are the classes I want to study? What are the experiments I want to do? What is the art I want to create? That curiosity of who you are, but also that curiosity in another. One of the things we know from relationship science is it's that two-way street. It's a dance between not only what you want and what you're searching for. This is my one bit of online dating advice you're going to get, right? Not only what do you look for on the app or in a person, but what are they looking for? That it's this constant two-way street, not just what you're not just out there and saying, here's what I want, but what do other people see? Are you giving people opportunities? Do others have opportunities to be curious about you, about what you've done, about what you've made, about who you are? That curiosity is something we must cultivate, not just in our own questioning of ourselves, but in the world around us, and give people opportunities to do it with us. One of the things we looked at in a study of 55,000 people who have been in singles, and we do a big study every year on single Americans, over 10 years, we say, what's one of the most important things you want in a romantic relationship? What are you looking for? One of the most powerful types of relationships in your life. Is it money? No. Is it success? No. Is it someone that is really attractive? No. It's someone you can be curious with. When we rate all of the things that people want in a partner, it's someone they can trust and confide in, someone who can make them laugh, someone they can be honest with. That to me is a tale of someone who we're willing to take the vulnerability to be curious with, to ask questions about what we want. When we think about relationships, something that our research has shown is there's always three components. There's you, there's your partner, and there's us, right? That the couple represents this sort of third entity. And you might say, okay, why am I talking about relationships? Aren't I getting ahead of yourselves? You haven't even graduated yet. And we know most Americans, unlike 50 years ago, half of you aren't engaged. But I think that these are lessons that impact all these different spheres of our lives. In our romantic relationships, in our pursuit of our business and our careers, in our pursuit of education. This idea that we can still be curious, that we can still ask questions about what about that assignment at work? What about that next project? What could be my possible promotion trajectory? What could we do? Where could we go? What could we make? This idea that we must always ask questions. It is the tonic of intimate relationships. Study after study after study has shown us being curious in your intimate life is associated with passion, longevity. It's even associated with lower risks of diseases for couples. But it's also associated with those types of exciting things we can do in our careers, in our lives. So when I often think about, as I walk into the Kinsey Institute every morning, well, curiosity spurred this institute that's been here for nearly 8 decades, asking bold questions, fighting difficult battles at times. But it's a theme that impacts so many areas of our lives, of our research, our education, and our intimate lives. So one of the things I think we can take away from those studies of deeply diving into relationships is continuing to ask questions, continuing to just be interested. We just had some of your parents might know who Dr. Ruth was. Not all of you are going to know. Dr. Ruth Westheimer is one of the greatest sex educators of our generation. She passed away last year at the age of 96. Her archives, we haven't publicly announced this, but we're among friends. Her entire archives are coming here to the Kinsey Institute at IU. And they'll be here? Yeah, so we're excited for that. And Ruth's own story was someone who was a Holocaust survivor. At 10 years old, she lost her entire family. But she was always interested in asking questions and helping people answer them. Her very last book, which just was published recently after her death, was called The Joy of Connections. Someone who spent her whole life giving America and the world sex advice and relationship advice. Her last real focus was on the joy of connections. The reason being, as some of you know, the U.S. Surgeon General declared that loneliness is a national epidemic. And Ruth was interested in taking the same themes from her education program on people's sexual and intimate lives and connecting it to this loneliness problem. Not because she thought that sex was the answer to it. No, it was because she felt that a lot of the same themes, it is an answer, but because a lot of the same themes about connection, about asking questions, could solve that. And one of the things I really appreciated about, I just finished reading this book, it's recently out, as you go through, and as I was thinking about what I wanted to talk to you all about, this theme over and over of how do we combat this loneliness epidemic? Curiosity. One of the things she said is if you're in your favorite restaurant by yourself, and you don't want to sit at a table alone if you're single or if you're traveling, or she said maybe sit at a bar, sit at a group of table with other people, sit with someone to your left and your right and ask some questions. Ask who they are, ask what they're eating. And we're in a time that we might think about that lack of curiosity, that lack of still asking those questions. Do we focus in and say, I'll be curious right now during this assignment that I have to do for a class? Or is it something we take into every element of our life, of every social relationship, of every group dinner, of every holiday? I often think with Thanksgiving just behind us and the holidays coming up, what kind of questions do you intend to ask when you're with your family? Is it going to be the usual of how's the weather and what's for dinner and where are we going tomorrow night? What are the questions you've never asked? Have you ever asked your grandparent about the first time they fell in love? Have you ever asked your parents about the most difficult thing in their relationship? What things could I naturally go to relationship things? You might want to say, like, how do you really make this pumpkin pie? Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. My poor family, I've asked them. They've suffered with me. But whatever it is, how do we think about cultivating that level of curiosity in every aspect of our lives? So I know we want to eat and we want to celebrate, but I want to end on thinking about one of the things of all these studies that we've done, of all these great legends who have asked questions about intimate lives, this fortunate archive that we have right here on our own campus in Lindley Hall, that we can think about what do we learn from 80 years of studies looking at people's lives. And for me, that takeaway is you all embody the very best of being curious. Never stop. Don't let it stop. Don't let it stop in your studies. Don't let it stop in your business lives. Don't let it stop in your relationships. Continue to ask questions. Give people the opportunities to ask questions about you and with you. And together, we'll stumble through some fun answers. Congratulations to all of you.
Thanks, Justin. That was fantastic. In fact, like the Phi Beta Kappa, like the essentially the interpretation of the Greek of that is lifelong learning, and lifelong learning you get from that curiosity. So if there's going to be one word that describes liberal arts and sciences, and it's curiosity. I also do want to sort of point out the fact that the College of Arts and Sciences also curiosity, but also tackling that Justin mentioned, the contentious, controversial subjects, and it is, especially the Kinsey Institute back in the 50s. He didn't talk about Herman B. Wells, the legendary president who did protect the Kinsey Institute. Imagine doing that back in the 50s. It's even controversial now, but back in the 50s, how much of a difference that was. And this is what we have to do. We have to protect the college's arts and sciences of tackling these controversial, contentious issues. A very good example is actually Professor Asad Asalia is here. He's a chair of the Department of Middle Eastern Languages and Cultures in Hamilton Luger School, but under the umbrella of the College of Arts and Sciences. After the October 7th, the attack, that there was a lot of discussion about Hamas, about the Israeli point of view, the Palestinian point of view, and he was a diversity fellow that set up these teach-ins through the year to talk about. And they're difficult. There's differing views in the collection, the audience that was done. But this is what the college does. And so that is the other thing to take away, is curiosity and actually not shying away from difficult subjects. Okay, maybe. So actually now I'm supposed to invite Jason McGraw up to the podium for introducing. Yes, this is all yours. Sorry. You changed that.
I just want to say thank you, Justin, for that rich and memorable keynote address and for showing up. Thank you. I mentioned earlier about sharing desserts. I don't see enough sharing going on, so that needs to happen. So now it's my honor to recognize the winner of the Margaret Russell Edmondson Award, given each semester to a member of Phi Beta Kappa of the IUB campus who demonstrates the highest academic excellence. This award was established by the late Professor Emeritus Frank Edmondson in memory of his wife. Frank Edmondson was a distinguished scientist who, throughout his career, was a dedicated member of the Gamma chapter of Phi Beta Kappa. Inducted at the conclusion of his junior year at IU in 1932. 4 years later, after receiving his doctorate from Harvard University, he returned to our campus as an instructor in astronomy. In 1972, he served as president of the Gamma chapter. At many of these induction banquets, he was accompanied by his wife, Margaret Russell Edmondson, herself a proud member of Phi Beta Kappa. Frank paid tribute to Margaret in many ways following her death in 1999, even naming an asteroid after her. But she might be most proud to know that this award for academic excellence has been established in her name. And today, the recipient of this year's Margaret Russell Edmondson Award is Gwendolyn Gerald. Gwendolyn, would you please come forward so that we can present you with your certificate for this special award? Let me say first, Gwendolyn is majoring in statistics and earning minors in computer science and mathematics. She has a strong family connection to IU as well. Her mother, Caroline, who is is in the audience with us this afternoon, is professor in the Department of History and associate dean for the chemistry. an Associate Dean for Natural and Mathematical Sciences and Research in the college. And her father, Martin, is also a distinguished professor in the Department of Chemistry. So congratulations, Gwendolyn, on this most impressive achievement. And now, Terry Greenslade, Secretary-Treasurer of the Gamma of Indiana, will conduct the initiation of our new student Phi Beta Kappa members.
Good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to be here with you this afternoon, and it is now my honor to lead our newly elected members through the induction. Before I do that, however, I've also been encouraged to encourage people to eat, to have refreshments, to have tea. It's supposed to be a celebration. So if you haven't had something to eat, please do that now. And then we will begin our induction here. So will our inductees please rise? All of our student members who've been elected to Phi Beta Kappa, please rise. Okay. In accordance with the rules of the chapter and in consequence of the evaluation by the constitutional electors of Phi Beta Kappa of the academic performance throughout the period of your baccalaureate degree candidacy, the electors have acted to elect you members in course. You have been formally notified of your election, and by your presence here, you signify your desire to be enrolled as members of this ancient and honorable society. I'm instructed to ask that you formally confirm acceptance of your election, and that when you become an elector of Phi Beta Kappa, you will have paramount regard for moral character and scholarly attainment. If you agree with this charge, you shall now respond, I do. Great, that's what I was waiting for. By reason of your election and your acceptance, the Society's requirements for induction are fully satisfied. Therefore, I declare you members of Gamma of Indiana of Phi Beta Kappa, authorized to wear its key and to participate in its meetings. And if you'll stay standing, we'd like to acknowledge you. Please be seated. Please be seated. And now we will present our new members. Dean Van Kooten, Professor McGraw, Professor Demas, and Professor Oosterhout, would you join me on the stage, please? Mr. President, members of the Executive Committee, faculty members of Phi Beta Kappa, and guests, I have the honor of presenting these persons who have been inducted. Students, our chapter president, Professor McGraw, will present you with your certificate of membership, while Dean Van Kooten, Professor Demas, and Professor Oosterhout will welcome you into the society. We will display your names on these screens on either side. When you see your name, will you please walk over to Michael, tall gentleman over here, handsome, I forgot the handsome part, who will help you line up. So let's begin. Here we go. Students, please come forward when you see your name. We will, for the most part, follow the order of the banquet program. While the first few students start to line up, let me explain the process on stage. When it's your turn, please come forward to accept your certificate from Professor McGraw, receive congratulations from Professor Oosterhout, Professor Demas, and Dean Van Kooten, then sign the registration book and exit the stage to my right. I would ask the members of the audience to please hold your applause until all the inductees have received their certificates. Let me add that we will read only the names of those members in attendance this afternoon. Okay, we ready? All right. We will start with Audrey Waite, who is a double major in anthropology and Spanish. Congratulations, Audrey. following with members of the class of 2024, Victoria Gray. Victoria is earning a psychology BS degree. Congratulations, Victoria. We'll catch up here with our signing. Kate Pletz. Kate is earning a dual degree in mathematics and also computer science through the Luddy School. Congratulations, Kate. Hunter Stewart. Okay, we will now start with the class of 2025, Emma Adams. Emma is earning a Bachelor of Science in Biology. Congratulations, Emma. Luke Akalaya. Luke is earning dual degrees in human biology and a political science BA. Congratulations, Luke. Juliet Albert. Juliet is earning degrees in studio art and biology. Matthias Ament. Matthias is earning a degree in history, a history BA. Matthias, sorry. Congratulations, Matthias. Ethan Apsley. Ethan is studying biochemistry, earning a BS. Motolani Arenoso. Congratulations, Motolani. Carlin Barksdale. Carlin is earning her current degrees in biochemistry and Spanish. Lauren Bartleman. Lauren is earning a biology BS degree. Congratulations, Lauren. Victoria Basil. Victoria is earning a BA in journalism as well as a BA in political science. Congratulations, Victoria. Mara Belansky. Mara is also earning a journalism degree, a BA. Caitlin Borschel. Caitlin is earning a biology BA. Congratulations, Caitlin. Brooke Braymeyer. Brooke is earning a psychology BA. Congratulations, Brooke. Zion Brown. Zion is earning a media BA. Congratulations, Zion. Ana Camerlinga Abrego. Alexis Coates. Alexis is earning a clinical psychological science BS. Congratulations, Alexis. Isabel Connor. Lauren Cooler. Lauren is earning a BA in psychology. Congratulations, Lauren. Ruth Cronin. Ruth is earning a journalism BAJ. Congratulations, Ruth. Megan Cunningham. Megan is a double major in speech, language, and hearing sciences, as well as Spanish. Congratulations, Megan. Jordan Dale. Jordan is earning a human biology Bachelor of Science degree. Congratulations, Jordan. Luke Eckerly. Luke is earning dual degrees in neuroscience and chemistry, both BS degrees. Congratulations, Luke. Julianne Ferguson. Julianne is earning a biology BS. Congratulations, Julianne. Melina Fisk. Melina is earning a degree, a Bachelor of Arts in International Studies. Congratulations, Melina. William Fleur. William is earning concurrent degrees in psychology, a BS, and a criminal justice BA. Congratulations, William. Kat Freitag. Kat is earning a human biology BS degree. Congratulations, Kat. Andres Garcia. Andres is earning a BS in microbiology. Congratulations, Andres. Ryan Goskowitz. Ryan is earning a biology BS. Congratulations, Ryan. Lauren Hadland. Lauren is earning concurrent degrees in biology, a BS, and Spanish. Congratulations, Lauren. Rachel Hahn. Rachel is earning a Bachelor of Science degree in neuroscience. Congratulations, Rachel. Tessa Hedrick. You'll sense a theme here in a moment. Tessa is earning a BS in neuroscience. Congratulations, Tessa. Jenna Himmelstein. Jenna is earning a BS degree in neuroscience. Popular major and a challenging one. Congratulations, Jenna. Allie Horwitz. Allie is earning a Bachelor of Science in Biology. Congratulations, Allie. Ella Hubster. Ella is pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences. Congratulations, Ella. Nikki Ivan. Nikki is pursuing a BS in microbiology. Congratulations, Nikki. Sarah Jackson. Sarah is pursuing a clinical psychological science, Bachelor of Science. Congratulations, Sarah. Hannah James. Gwendolyn Gerald, whom we've met a little while ago. Gwendolyn is earning a Bachelor of Science in Statistics.
Double
Congratulations, Gwendolyn. Catherine Johnson. Catherine's earning a BA in Cognitive Science. Congratulations, Catherine. Morgan Carney. Morgan is earning her Bachelor of Arts with a major in Psychology. Congratulations, Morgan. Lillian Lacey. Lillian is pursuing a BS in Neuroscience. Congratulations, Lillian. Esther Lee. Esther is earning her Bachelor of Science in Biology. Congratulations, Esther. Chelsea Lowe. Chelsea is earning a Bachelor of Science in Biology as well. Congratulations, Chelsea. Josie Lobring. Jessie is pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Clinical Psychological Science. Congratulations, Josie. Sean Loftus. Sean is pursuing double major in East Asian languages and cultures and linguistics. Congratulations, Sean. Michelle Liu. Michelle is also earning a Bachelor of Science in Neuroscience. Congratulations, Michelle. Quinn Lyday. Quinn is pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Molecular Life Sciences. Congratulations, Quinn. Selena Mascaro. Selena is earning her Bachelor of Science in Biology. Congratulations, Selena. Askar Mazitov. Askar is earning a BS in Biology as well as an individualized major BA. Congratulations, Askar. Bryn Masako. Bryn is a double major in international law and institutions as well as political science. Congratulations, Bryn. Ella McCoy. Ella is earning a Bachelor of Science in Psychology. Congratulations, Ella. Allison McAvoy. Allison is earning a Bachelor of Arts in Biology. Congratulations, Allison. Catherine Minnick. Catherine is earning a Human Biology Bachelor of Science. Congratulations, Catherine. Keegan Nichols. Keegan is earning a Bachelor of Arts in Germanic Studies. Congratulations, Keegan. Lily Newest. Lily is pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in Art History, as well as a Studio Art Bachelor of Fine Arts. Congratulations, Lily. Paige O'Connell. Paige is pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Biology. Congratulations, Paige. And Ms. Alua Oladapa. And Ms. Alua is pursuing a BS in Neuroscience. Congratulations. Evan Piper. Evan is pursuing a biochemistry BS. Congratulations, Evan. Bennett Piper. Bennett is pursuing a Media Bachelor of Arts. Congratulations, Bennett. Jeremy Kwasny. Jeremy is pursuing a Computational Linguistics Bachelor of Science. Congratulations, Jeremy. Marin Romano. Marin is pursuing a Psychology BA. Congratulations, Marin. Veronica Salama. Veronica is pursuing dual degrees, Bachelor of Science in Biology and Bachelor of Science in Neuroscience. Congratulations, Veronica. Jolisa Santana. Jolisa is pursuing a Media BA. Congratulations, Jolisa. Stephen Schaefer. Stephen is pursuing an Atmospheric Science BS degree. Annika Shankwitz. Annika is earning a Computational Linguistics Bachelor of Science degree. Taylor Smith. Taylor is earning a Human Biology BS degree. Congratulations, Taylor. Aaron Toland. Aaron is earning a double major in political science and Spanish. Congratulations, Aaron. Austin Tron. Austin is earning a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry. Congratulations, Austin. Elizabeth Valadez. Elizabeth is earning a double major in English and political science. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Jenna Vanderway. Jenna is earning a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology. Congratulations, Jenna. Morgan Viney. Audrey Vonderai. Audrey is earning dual degree in journalism and criminal justice. Congratulations, Audrey. Jalen Wall. Abby Wilcox. Oops, there's Jalen. Okie doke. Jalen Wall is earning concurrent degrees in neuroscience and chemistry. Congratulations, Jalen. Abby Wilcox. Abby is earning a Bachelor of Science in Psychology. Congratulations, Abby. Chet Wilson. Chet is earning a Bachelor of Science in Neuroscience. Danielle Wolven. Danielle is a double major in International Studies and Middle Eastern Languages and Cultures. Congratulations, Danielle. Caleb Wood. Caleb is earning a BS in Biology. Congratulations, Caleb. Ellie Wojtek. Ellie is earning a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Studio Art. Congratulations, Ellie. Lexi Yeager. Lexi is pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Merchandising. Ryan Yager. Ryan is a double major in theater and drama and criminal justice. Congratulations, Ryan. Lauren Koenig. Oh, okay. Lauren is earning his degree in human biology. Shruti Latha. Shruti Latha Velavar is earning her degree in biology. Congratulations, Shruti Latha. If there are any new members whose names that I have omitted, would you please step forward now so we can present you with your certificate? Okay. You have now met our new members of Phi Beta Kappa Gamma of Indiana. Please join me in expressing our pleasure in their accomplishments.
As we come to a close of this event, I want to remind you to share the desserts and that the keys to your future will be your resilience, curiosity, courage, and determination. The world very much needs people like you, people who have been broadly trained with deep expertise and interest in the liberal arts and sciences. You excel in the analytical skills we celebrate in Phi Beta Kappa, and the foundational skills that are the hallmark of the college. With your Phi Beta Kappa membership, you will have the support for your life adventure. Election to Phi Beta Kappa connects you with a wonderfully diverse community nationally and around the world. A community of people who lead meaningful, significant lives. Save your program in your hands to better connect with others here today and in the future. These are the members of your Phi Beta Kappa class. One last suggestion. Among the guests at this afternoon's ceremony is Josh Levesque, a member of the board of the Alpha Association of Indiana, who is also a master's student in the O'Neill School of Public and Environmental Affairs. Mr. Levesque will be available after the banquet near the entrance of the solarium to answer questions you may have about joining a Phi Beta Kappa association. For those of you whose future plans include remaining in northern or central Indiana, it is a good opportunity to connect with others with similar plans and to network. Josh, would you please stand so students know who you are? So, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Remember to take photos with your banner of your major. It's time to bask now in your well-earned success. Congratulations again.